Hey guys, thanks for tuning into my drive-by. It's big old 80 degrees, and today's the, I gotta look anyway, I'm forgetting the dates sometimes. November 22nd, 2014, and I'm on US41, which is Tamiami Trail, heading southbound. And this is Sarasota I'm in now, and this is Crossroads, Stickney Place, it looks like. Place Road or something road. But yeah, I wanted to say hey, hi, and everybody. How you doing? It's about 4 o'clock p.m. I wanted to bring something up, and this is long-term storage of guns. What happens when you're forced where you have to store your guns for an extended period of time? Maybe 6 months, maybe 7 months, maybe a year. How would you do it, and what would you do? There's a few different ways you can do it. The first one that comes to mind is a storage facility. You can probably store your guns in a storage facility. However, most places don't allow that. Some do. Read your contract to see. I've seen a lot of them do not. Mainly they say you can't store explosive items. Now, is ammunition explosive? I don't know. I guess that would, I don't know if that would be considered explosive or not. But they do say, some places say that. Some do say firearms. But it's one of those, if they don't know, don't worry about it. And also then it comes to the thing of burying guns. A lot of people say, well, why don't bury the gun? You gotta watch out for these pedestrians. Well, do you bury a gun? Well, you could, but then you're gonna have to find out about humidity, about what type of item you soak it in. Now, I might just go ahead and buy it. There's a company that makes Looper Plate Marine. Now, it's a marine product for marines, motors and stuff. And actually, you can store parts and gears and stuff in it. Supposedly, it's enhanced and it's supposed to be some pretty good stuff. But I don't know how good it works. I got a Bentley right behind me, guys. Florida. There's like a brand new Bentley convertible. That's a little bit of bucks over there. But anyway, if he passes me, you'll get a good view of it. If I go slow enough, he'll get annoyed and he'll pass me. But storing a gun, what do you use? Now, they said the Looper Plate Auto Marine, that's supposed to be pretty good, and probably not many people have heard about that. Then, of course, there's Corrosion X. Some people say store it in ETF. Okay, here comes that Bentley up on my left. Here it is, Bentley convertible. That's a little bit of money over there. But you're in Florida, hey, there's tons of money out here. Most of it's probably drug money. But anyway, a lot of retired old people out here too. But okay, so now when we go back and we discuss this as far as the storage, and let's see, we'll get a shot here. There he is again, that Bentley. Okay, but anyway, get back on track. What would you suggest? And I guess it would depend on what type of gun you're storing too. But normally, you're going to want something that's going to protect it and cling to the steel and or the finish, and you don't want it to pit it, be corrosive or anything. That's why people were talking about motor oil and all this other stuff. I guess the only way you could do it is take, some finishes and just store them in the ground and see, get different plated pieces of material and then store them and see which works better. I would say you need at least probably 3 or 4 pieces of the metal, and then maybe 4 or 5 different protectants, and store them underground. And just probably a year would be the best, and after a year see how they turned out. But there's a big stink on that, storing guns or weapons in the ground. Probably the best thing would be to probably store something that's more polymer, like a stock, which has less steel parts on it. Something like that. And probably ideal would be to submerge it in some type of oil, whether you do Mobil 1 or Corrosion X, or some kind of really good anti-corrosive material. But that looper plate, I've never used it, but I definitely, I think I'm going to buy a few gallons of that and try that. We're going to see how that works, and we can do like, we'll take transmission fluid, we'll take Mobil 1, we'll take looper plate, and maybe Corrosion X, something that's not too cost prohibitive, that we could cover the gun in it, or even mineral oil, and then bury them each in the ground for like 6 months, and then after we dig them up, we could of course see, the amount of corrosion that's on there. That's what we really want to determine: how much corrosion, how corroded the items get. But if anybody has any experience, and I'm talking about real world experience, like has anybody taken a 1911, regular carbon blued steel 1911, and dropped it in a bucket of transmission fluid or oil or looper plate or Corrosion X or Rem oil or whatever oil you think is a nice protective, and just buried the damn thing for like a year or two, and then pulled it up and seen what the finish looks like, or even coated it with a smidgen of it and then pulled it up and see what kind of rust. And I'm talking like in a high humidity area, so maybe like Florida, Arizona. Yeah, mainly I'm talking about Florida because that's where I live, but depending, I guess, what state you live in, and how does the finish turn out? I mean, real world stuff. You hear so much on the internet, people doing this, but I don't know if they've ever done the testing on it to see if this really works. But I did hear about looper plate, auto marine, and that, when I contacted the guy, he said basically you buy it in gallon bottles, and that stuff is, I guess, is fairly resistant to rust, period. They store raw metal parts and gears and stuff. And I guess transmission fluid would work too, or Mobil 1, because that's in direct contact with bearings, and I would think it would have to inhibit rust, but I'm not sure. But thanks a lot, guys. I'd like to hear what you guys think about this, and thanks for tuning in today's drive-by, and everybody have a blessed day. Thanks.